So we're going to take a look at another plugin that's been installed in Firefox, and this plugin is one that's called Groundspeed. Now, I've just got a web page up here. In this case, it's a page that comes with Damn Vulnerable Web App, which is a good framework for looking at different web vulnerabilities and helping to understand how they work and figuring out how to exploit them. I've just got this up here so we can take a look at some things quickly. So I want to launch Groundspeed. We go up to the Tools menu and just click on Groundspeed. Now, what Groundspeed gives us the ability to do is look at the components to a particular web page and a web interface. So right here I've got a form that doesn't actually have a name, and we've got a couple of attributes here. So there's a method that's being used called get, and the action is just pound, which suggests that there's something inside the page that's actually handling the action for us. So we've got an ID here, which is the form element, and in this case it's an edit box or an input box. And the other form element that we've got is the submit button, and that's right there. So you notice when I click on these different elements, Groundspeed will actually highlight them on the page for me. So there's my submit button. And in this case, we see the attributes here. The name is ID and the type is a text box or just text. So same with the submit button. If I click the submit button there, I get submit, submit, submit. Now, this isn't particularly interesting on this page because we can see all of these elements, and if we looked at the code, we could figure it all out. It would probably be pretty easy. On more complex pages, though, or in cases where there were hidden inputs, so for example, if I were to go back to the Microsoft support site that we were looking at previously, then I've got the form here, and we notice this actually has a name and it's a form. Here's the ID text field, which appears to be hidden. And we've got another one called mode, and there are some checkboxes here. We can see all of those, and it will highlight them for us. And there are some radio buttons, and if I scroll down and over, they don't actually appear to be on the page that I can find to highlight them, which means they're under the options button that was hidden. So now I know where all of those are as well. So again, we've got all of the attributes here and the values that we could actually implement. So now I know what the values are. And again, I could get this by looking at the page source, but having the ability to just see it right here in front of me and be able to interact with it easily really is helpful because it gives me a shortcut to getting this information together. And having these values here, in the case of this radio button, so I've got the value right there, then that gives me the ability to maybe figure out how I might be able to manipulate that value using something like tamper data.